Okay, let's talk about, or let's solve a few formulas for a variable. We're going to solve all of these for x. So we're going to solve, I think I have 3 examples here for us. We're going to solve them all for x. So we just want to get x by itself is what we're asking for. So it's the same idea as solving an equation. There's just probably some other variables in these formulas. Okay. In this case, we have an a and an x. We want to get the x by itself. Okay. So let's look at this. If you want to know where the left and right side of the equal signs are, go ahead and put that down there. At this point, we haven't been doing it for a little while, but that's okay. First thing I want to do is get rid of the easiest thing, which is the plus 4. So I'm going to subtract 4 from each side. That leaves me with an ax equals 7 minus 4 is 3. Okay? And now, the a and the x, there's multiplication between the a and the x. So I want to get the x by itself, so I'm going to divide both sides by a. The a's cancel, leaving me with an x equals 3 over a. And that would be the formula rearranged for x. Okay, so why would we do this? Well, sometimes you need to know the only information you're trying to find is maybe x or like the height of something. So if you rearrange the formula for the height, then you can just plug in all the things and it automatically gives you the height. Okay, instead of having to plug the things in and then solve for the height. Okay, so you can do your work prior to plugging in. Okay, let's look at another one. Okay, solve this one for x. Okay, now there is addition on this side. Okay, but in this case, it's not the easiest part. Okay, it actually, if I was going to get rid of that 1 by subtracting, it would be much harder than it looks. Okay, so we want to get rid of this denominator first. So the 2 is dividing, so I want to multiply. Okay, and over here I'm going to call it a name for 2 that's a fraction, 2 over 1, just so I have a numerator and a denominator too, so I can cancel them. And on the right hand side, I'll just multiply. Okay, so the 2's cancel over here, leaving with the ax plus 1 over 1, which is just ax plus 1, equals b times 2, which is 2b. Okay, now it looks like the last problem. So now the easiest thing to do is to get rid of the plus 1 on each side by subtracting. Leaves me with an ax equals 2b minus 1. And then our last step is to get the x by itself. And we'll divide both sides by a to get rid of the a, since it's multiplied times the x. So x equals 2b minus 1 over a. And the third example, excuse me, we have, looks like an area formula, and we want to get x by itself. A equals 1/2 h parentheses x plus y. So the first thing we want to do is get rid of this 1/2 and the h that are in front of our parentheses. Okay, that should clear up some of the stuff to just leave us with x and y. Well, let's just deal with the 1/2 to start with. Okay, if you take 1/2 times 2, they cancel each other. So I'm going to multiply both sides by 2. Okay, so I'll just multiply this whole side by 2. And multiply this side by 2. So over here on the left, there are 2 times a, which is 2a, equals, okay, now this looks really sloppy on the right-hand side, but all I have to know is that if I take the 2 times everything inside the parentheses I just drew, these parentheses, is actually one term, okay? Because 1/2 times h times x plus y is just one term. So if I don't have to do any distribution or anything like that, I can just take 2 times the 1/2 and they cancel each other and leave me with a 1. Okay? So there's 1h, or just h, parentheses, x plus y. Okay? Now, you might be tempted to do distribution on this problem, but you don't need to. Okay? We're trying to get x by itself, so let's just get rid of the h that's in front of the x plus y instead of distributing it through. If you distribute it through, you're going to have a lot of other things going on with it. Okay, so the h is multiplied by x times y, or x plus y, excuse me. So I'm going to divide by h on both sides. Okay, over here the h's cancel. On the left-hand side, I already have 2a divided by h. That one looks like an n. Okay, scroll that a little bit. So the h is canceled, left me with x plus y. And now I'm one easy step away from getting x by itself. I just have to get rid of the y that's added, so I subtract y from each side. Okay, and since 2a divided by h is not a like term with y, I can't actually combine them. So I'm just going to rewrite it. Okay, 2a over h minus y equals x. Okay, so I solve for x.